Sharing the Load, brought to you by the Chevy Silverado. Here are the remaining wide receivers left on the Patriots roster. Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Tyquan Thornton, and don't forget Trey Nixon.
Trey Nixon.
Don't you know? Let's roll. It's presented by Town Fair Tire. Greg Bedard, Boston Sports Journal. What the heck are they doing?
Good question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to believe that something, maybe a couple something bigger is coming, because what we've seen so far, if this is really how they're going to go and maybe go through the draft to add at wide receiver, it'd be a dereliction of duty for Belichick. If they do nothing else on offense, if they just roll it back, just go with draft picks, I would say the Bill's trying to get fired. We're just waiting for the Costanza move where he's driving around the Gillette Stadium parking lot with one of the Lombardi trophies behind his car. I mean, that they did this to Jakobi Meyers, the one thing that works in the passing offense consistently for 3 years, that they did this to him. As far as I understand, they were competitive on this.
They were.
It's a joke. They were not.
Yeah. So
right.
Jimmy
It's
Stewart.
a joke.
Jimmy Stewart said their offer was 2 years, $12 million, $6 million per year, and he got 11 in Vegas. I don't know what you heard, but that's what Stewart heard.
I don't have any numbers, but from what I understand, it wasn't that close. And to me, that's ridiculous for a guy. I mean, you just look at it. You guys had the depth chart up earlier. I mean, Devontae Parker, who knows how often he's going to be on the field. Even last year, he was hurt. Kendrick Bourne, I don't know. Does he work with Troy Brown? He didn't perform last year. He was in the doghouse. Tyquan Thornton, is he going to develop? I don't know. But the one thing that you knew worked in the passing offense consistently, the guy was almost always out there. You let him go for nothing?
Right. Yeah. And so that being said, why do you think, Greg, that something big could be coming, or something big should be coming? No. Why would it be coming? Based on what? What have they done?
Because they can't compete right now. Right, and I refuse to believe that Bill Belichick's going to field a team this year that can't compete.
Well, I think he will, because, look what happened last year. Of course, you could get rid of Jakobi Meyers. You had you had 3 1,000-yard receivers on the Patriots. You were in top 5 in points. No, you weren't. You knew. I mean, they never should have allowed him to get the free agency that they did. So I really question the team building of the Patriots, and I would say you both are letting somebody off the hook. Bill Belichick deserves to be right in the crosshairs here. But I was told here, we had a big argument a couple weeks ago when I told you, didn't I tell you, Mike? I said, wait a minute. What has changed for Bill Belichick? Nothing has really changed. He's doing the same thing he's done before. And you said, hey, it's Robert Kraft has changed the dynamic down there. Robert Kraft is now in power. So who is it? If Robert Kraft is in power, he deserves some blame as well as Bill Belichick, because he allowed this to happen. If everything has changed in Foxborough, had that little letter, that memo to season ticket holders, hey, we're going to change things in football operations. We're going to field a competitive team. We're not happy being home for the playoffs. So is this on Bill? Do we blame Bill, or do we blame Billy O'Brien and Robert Kraft?
I don't believe in Felger's fantasy land. I mean, just because Felger believes that this has gone on doesn't mean there was some coup.
So what do you think?
It's Bill. Bill's always in charge. It's Bill. He's put the team in this position. If they don't do anything, then, he's asking to be fired. I think he's going to do something. Look, the league year doesn't start till 4 o'clock tomorrow. You can't execute trades. Monty Ossenfort in Arizona used to be here. I could see them being able to keep DeAndre Hopkins quiet, maybe a couple other things. But, as it stands right now, this team is not competitive. I refuse to believe that he's going to field a team that's not competitive.
But does it make you question, what does Bill O'Brien say about this new offensive coordinator coming in?
He doesn't have any say.
But wait, why doesn't he have any say? He's an OC, comes in.
Josh McDaniels didn't have any say.
Yeah, he had some say.
He had a wish list every year in the draft, free agency. Bill gets to it when he wants to. Normally, it's behind a bunch of defensive guys. Of course, they took care of Jonathan Jones because Steve and Gerard need their guy. But the offense that actually needs help, they don't do anything.
But if you're Billy O, Mike, you asked me to come in and turn around this offense. Couldn't get it together. Never looked like a functional NFL offense for most of the season. Now you're going to take away a guy who I think, if he does feel this way, who I think can help us underneath. So O'Brien has no say at all?
Just back to the Kraft thing. I don't think his level of involvement gets to that level of player, okay? But we can debate that later on in the program. I want to get about what this means to Mac Jones, because make no mistake, Jakobi Meyers was Mac Jones' guy on the field and off. Here's Mac Jones earlier last season.
Just a really smart football player. He's been one of my close friends since I've gotten here, and I trust him. We see the game the same way, sometimes without even talking about it. So we're just working on, growing together and kind of making our repertoire a little better, just with what he sees. How can he help me? How can I help him? And hopefully we can grow together here. And he's just a tough, smart football player, and I'll take him on my team forever, hopefully.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Mac Jones cuts that we've, had over the course of the year. One of the best teammates I've ever had. Important guy for me on the field and off. It was his guy. His guy off the field, his guy on the field. They've run the numbers when Mac Jones is playing with Jakobi Meyers. When Jakobi Meyers is on the field, Mac Jones is at least a middle-of-the-pack quarterback in the NFL. When he's off the field, Mac Jones is a bottom-of-the-league quarterback. That's what the numbers show. So this is the most important thing to me. If the Pats really wanted to get Mac Jones' back, or really cared about him, or cared about his feelings or what he thought or wanted, they would have brought him back again, because this was an easy contract. This was not a hard contract. So this tells me Belichick, the organization, doesn't give a crap about how Mac Jones feels.
More Felger fantasy land. Let's just
remember
a little bit.
It's just an opinion,
Let's
Greg.
just remember a little bit. Were there ever times when you questioned whether they gave Tom Brady what he wanted, like maybe shipping out Deion Branch? Who he was close with.
Yeah,
I mean, this is not the first time that this happened. Bill doesn't get personal. I mean, most of the time, as far as these, he stays impersonal as far as player valuation.
Well, let me stop you. There were plenty of Brady receivers that he let go. They got paid. They didn't want to pay. If Deion Branch,
Julian Edelman went to free agency.
Yeah, and
Wes Welker had to carry a tin can around.
But I'm telling you, Greg, they came back at team, deals that the team would deem okay. Okay, those guys came back. The guys that got huge money, Deion Branch, etc., David Givens, the team let them go. This was one of those cheese deals. This was one of those easy deals. So why did if Brady's guys came back on easy deals, they'd bring them back. Amendola
if they're not using this money for something more, then you're absolutely correct. But I'm not going to sit here and pick it for Jakobi Meyers when I've been saying for 2 years they need better in the slot. I mean, I think they need more athleticism in the slot.
I thought this first half of the segment you were just picketing for Jakobi Meyers.
No, I'm picketing against Bill's got to do something. I mean, or else, what are we doing here?
Okay. I'm telling you, this is a slap at Mac Jones. This was an easy re-sign, and
Bill's done it before,
and it was Mac Jones' guy.
He's done it to Brady.
Not when it's cheap. Not when it's a cheap, easy contract. He brings those guys back.
Bill's never played a slot receiver. None of these guys get big deals. Welker, Edelman, Troy Brown.
But what do you think about this deal, though? This is like we heard, going into the guesses.
Julian Edelman
16 to 18
$8 million.
I know, but okay, this is a good. Look at Burt Breer's tweet. This is a year-to-year contract. It's easy to get out of.
Wow, Greg, talk about fantasy land.
But
you think Belichick's all in on Mac Jones? He's going to get his back.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying he hasn't. He's not treating him any differently than he did Brady. Brady didn't get all his wish lists.
The cheap guys he did. He got all the cheap guys he wanted.
Yeah, fine. The guys who could perform, who wanted to get paid, like Bill stiffed them. He made them go. He made Julian Edelman go out and go on free agent visits.
The cheap guys he got. Myers is a cheap guy. Why isn't he here?
At $11 million, he's cheap?
Cheap. Yep,
yeah,
this day and age, it's a good deal.
Yeah, in today's league, and what the cap is going to be, what the cap is this year, and what the cap is going to be the next couple of years, you don't have to worry about the next couple of years. Michael Felger, cue up, cap is crap.